So today's topic is levels of teaching. So there are three levels of teaching. Just have a look on the slide and now turn away. Now if I just ask you one simple question, that what are the three levels of teaching? You may say, first was memory, second was understanding, and third was I don't know, I don't remember, or it is not in my memory, right? So this level is called the memory level of teaching, where you just memorized those words while seeing on the slide without understanding it. Thoughtless learning. You remember cramming the concepts till a minute before exam? Again, it is the same thing. Now you understand the concept, right? Slowly trying to understand that what memory level of teaching is. So what is happening here? Understanding level of teaching is coming into the picture right here, right now. But not so fast. I'll ask you another question. Is memory level of teaching necessary for understanding level of teaching? Think about a minute. What is happening in your mind? You are challenging your own thoughts. You are challenging what I have understood as of now. You are also checking your memory about the names which I have just said. So, what is happening? You are reflecting on that. Congratulations, we have reached the third level, which is the highest level, which is called reflective level of teaching. Now, let's dive into these all three levels of teaching one by one and understand what they are and what are their characteristics are. So first is memory level of teaching. So the memory level of teaching is the initial stage of learning. You remember in the lower classes we used to learn like A for apple. Are we asking why A for apple is? We are not understanding it. We are just rote memorizing it. That is our second point. The memory level of teaching is rote memorization. By the way, it is not good for adults, right? We should understand, we should reflect on things. Also, the memory level of teaching is in this learning process is stimulus response. Stimulus response, take an example. If I'll say, what is 7 into 2? You will say 14 in your mind, right? So what is happening? I'm just giving you a stimulus and you are giving me a response. Because in the lower classes, you have crammed it. We have all crammed these tables. So that is why when I say 5 into 2, you say 10 without any thought. And it is happening so fast, right? So that is the learning process is in memory level of teaching is stimulus response. So who was the scientist behind it? Who gave this model? Is John F. Hubbard. Please remember the name. It may be asked in your NET exam. Now from memory level, let's go to the understanding level of teaching. Understanding of level of teaching requires memory, right? That is what the question I asked, that if memory level of teaching is required. Yes, it is required in understanding level, but plus it has insights, it has understanding, and it goes for the mastery of the subject. You understand the subject. If you see in the previous level of teaching, memory based, the teacher has the prominent role. In this, insight or concepts, understanding concepts take the stage. So it in understanding level of teaching, we focus on mastery. You can say, like, for example, if there are 100 marks, I will try to score 90%. I'll get wrong again, I'll attempt to the test and try to understand, deepen my level of understanding, right? It helps in developing the intellectual behavior of the students. Okay, so because they are able to think, they are thinking freely, they are able to discuss with others. So that is why the intellectual behavior is proponent. In understanding level of teaching, both are active. If you see in the memory level of teaching, the learning is happening passively by the student. But in understanding level of teaching, both students and teacher are active. Who was the scientist which gave this model? Is Henry Clinton Morrison. Please remember this name. Now we are going to our last level, which is the highest level also, which is reflective level of teaching. It is the highest level, and see, this MLT plus ULT just means memory and understanding level of teaching. So it includes both. Now think about a minute, is it necessary? Can we just have memory and reflect on that? But think about it. If you will not understand it, how you can reflect on things? For example, if I say 7 into 2, 14, yes, you know, your memory level is okay. But can you reflect on that? If you reflect on that, you will start getting, when you understood, 7 times 2 is 14. So the understanding level should be there, so that you should be able to reflect on that. Reflective level of teaching is a problem-centric approach. The students are given a problem, so they are able to apply their mind, challenge their minds, challenge their understanding of the topic and apply to that problem. So that is why they are able to reflect on their learnings. It increases the reflective power. So that is the obvious slide. Reflective level of teaching is student standard. We have seen in the last video, we have gone through student centered teaching and instructor centered teaching. So it is student standard. So because here the students are at the center stage, the teacher has taken the secondary role. Okay, he facilitates learning, he plays as a coach or mentor, but he's not a primary guy. The main person or main object here is students. It is for student centering. So who's the scientist? The scientist name Hunt has given this model. Okay, so thank you very much, and I hope this video will not only be in your memory level of learning, but also you will reflect on the same and reach the highest level of learning. Thank you very much. See you again.